Pepto shots? The whole bag of cereal. It curdled!
I need more sauce.
If you have ever been on the internet for more than a few hours in your life, you have probably encountered a mukbang. Mukbang, whatever. The popularity of these videos has always confused me. What is it about someone consuming excessive amounts of food, often unhealthy food, that draws millions of people in? Why is the sight of sauce spilling across the table, mouths filled with food, and amplified chewing sounds? It's the noises. They drive me crazy. That's not only tolerated, but celebrated. And how did this develop into such a profitable industry? That is what I want to explore today. Where mukbangs came from, what they originally meant, and how they evolved. So where did this all start? Mukbang is a combination of two different Korean words. Bang song, in case you didn't know I'm fluent, which literally means eating and broadcast. This word originated in South Korea in the late 2000s. During this activity, a broadcast streamer known as a mukbanger consumes large quantities of food, all while interacting with viewers. It has also been observed that the streamers have the potential to amplify a variety of sounds that occur during the act of eating, including the noises made by chewing loudly, biting into crispy fried chicken, and drinking soda. Okay, you get the point. The host or streamer will typically have a courteous and gentle manner of speaking to the viewers. This has changed. You will soon discover. The streamers can frequently be found chatting with the audience during the online live eating show. Although the mukbang trend was initially started in 2014 by South Korean mukbangers on the Korean video platform known as Africa TV, it soon spread rapidly to other parts of the world and became common on the social media platform YouTube, where it does not necessarily have to be live streamed. Right, so it started off as something pretty simple. People would sit down with a regular meal, nothing too crazy, and just talk to whoever was watching. It felt more like hanging out than putting on a show. And the idea was that if you came home after a long day, perhaps you're lonely, you don't have a family to sit down with, you could turn on a live stream and not feel like you were eating alone. But even back then, you could already see some issues. Sure, these mukbangs gave people some comfort, a sense of community, but it also blurred the lines between just harmless entertainment and something more dependent. For example, if the main way you deal with being lonely is by watching strangers eat online, is that really fixing the problem or just distracting you from it? And because so much of mukbang is built on that parasocial bond, it became the perfect setup for creators to cash in on this weird kind of intimacy. Of course, not everyone had that in mind, but many did see this as a business opportunity. Look at these loners. They want to watch me eat, and I can make money? The point is that just like in other fandoms, there is a false sense of closeness between the viewer and the creator, but you do not actually know that celebrity, just like you are not actually invited to the mukbang creator's dinner table. Some creators may approach it innocently, yes, but many lean into that personal storytelling and illusion of friendship precisely because it drives views. You can pay attention to some of these creators later on and the phrases they use. Eat an entire pizza pie with me, but you're not actually with them, are you? Once that format crossed onto Western platforms, it started to change because portion sizes grew, foods got messier, and creators leaned harder into what grabbed attention. Trisha Paytas caught on to the mukbang trend early, garnering millions of views of herself eating on camera. At one point, she said that her mukbang posts were her main income. I think the most I've ever made was when I did a Pizza Hut one, where I eat like 5 different pizzas, she told ABC News, and I think that made like maybe $50,000. Where's my 50K? Are you not entertained? Sorry, I'm not eating pizza. 50K, guys. Okay. No, really though, think about it. $50,000 for eating pizza on camera. Once an audience gets used to seeing you devour 5 pizzas, for example, right in one sitting, you can't exactly scale back to a bowl of soup or a salad. At least not without losing views. And you can get a lot of views. So Trisha may frame it as fun or quirky, but this is a trap. For many at least, because once money, attention, sponsorships are tied to extreme eating, moderation becomes unprofitable. profitable. The system is designed to reward excess, right? If you are someone who's already struggling with your relationship to food or to attention, the platform will happily turn that vulnerability into a business model. The same cycle has played out in other corners of the internet, right? Beauty hauls, shower routines, body wash, mountains of razors, restocking soap, right? Food, beauty, lifestyle, it follows the same formula, and the algorithm rewards what feels like too much. So the jump from ordinary ramen to 10 packs of ramen in one sitting, or from the casual chit-chat to dripping cheese pulls, did not happen overnight. Here's a well-known one, jelly bean sweets. It's a lot of sauce. Girl, chill. It's all yours. No one's coming to take it from you. So creators quickly learned that the bigger and messier the stunt, the faster the views came in. Neat bowls of food stopped performing well. What worked was the cheese stretching off the screen, right? The sauce pouring by the gallon. No one needs that much sauce. Edible hairbrushes, rainbow noodles. Plenty of creators started faking it too, spitting food out off camera or editing around bites to make it look like they actually are consuming everything, but they're not. And some people fall for it. They think, wow, they're eating so much food, but they're so skinny. It must be magic. Well, no. There's also the issue of wasting food and lying to an audience. Some do consume it all, but the cost is not just physical, regardless, because constantly eating on camera will change your relationship with food. Imagine never picking up a slice of pizza without wondering how it would look like on camera, or how many views you could get. For a lot of these creators, food stops being nourishment and becomes pure performance. And once you cross that line, it's very hard to go back when you know, man, if I just had my camera while I'm out with friends having this meal, I could make some good money. And much like food itself, attention can be addictive, right? Once creators tasted the sponsorships, the donations, the millions of subscribers that extreme mukbangs could bring in, for a lot of them, there was no turning back to moderation. You rarely see that because a normal, balanced meal will not go viral. Excess sells, and for many, the trade-off was their health, or at least their dignity. And that starts to look like a small price to pay because the fame, because the money. Let's take a look.
That's crazy. 단무지 피클도 준비를 했습니다. 먼저 불닭부터.
I love how she has 2 little pickles and then that huge thing of noodles. Look at that spoon. They're doing Pepto shots. I love how they're already shaking from anticipation. At the bottom he writes, how do you guys think this will end? Stick around to find out. I don't think I will, but my prediction, let's just hope you have multiple restrooms wherever you are filming this.
We just put a huge dent into this. We did, actually.
It's the noises. I know some people like it. I don't understand. I'm not mad at the ASMR. Like the regular ASMR, okay, that can be relaxing, that can be pleasant, but the chewing sounds. Who wants to hear that? So again, why are people watching this? Well, for some, it's about living vicariously through the eater, right? Dieters in particular, they admit that they love watching these mukbangs because it helps satisfy their cravings without actually eating. And then there is Nikocado Avocado, who I'm sure you've heard of. He's arguably one of the most infamous mukbang creators, and he claims to have lost the weight while continuing to upload old mukbang videos that showed him at his former size. I'm sorry for waking you up, kitty. Is that a broom? They're probably thinking, wow, we're gonna get so many views. Our viewers are so stupid. They think that we're actually like this performance we're putting on, but you're still eating it. Even if you're not eating all of that food and what you're like wasting it, throwing it out, also awful, you're still eating a lot of it. You're still gaining weight. We have proof of that. So I don't think you're the mastermind you claim to be. But this is him now.
The rarest avocado in the world where you can eat the skin.
Back to his roots. Nikocado Avocado. Listen, I'm proud of him. He's changed. I wish he hadn't done that in the first place, but Okay. He says it was all a social experiment. Today I woke up from a very long dream, and I also woke up having lost 250 pounds off of my body. And just yesterday, people were calling me fat and sick and boring. People are the most messed up creatures on the entire planet, and yet I've still managed to stay 2 steps ahead of everyone. The joke's on you. While everybody pointed and laughed at me for over-consuming food, I was in control the entire time. In reality, people are completely absorbed with internet personalities and obsessively watch their content. That is where a deeper level of overconsumption lies. And it's the parallel I wanted to make. Now, on one level, he's right. Also, I won't lie, I find it iconic and pretty funny how he tries to make it sound like he's a supervillain.
So I am the villain because I've made myself one. And you will continue to consume these stories about me.
I wouldn't be surprised if Netflix made a series about him. Nikocado, Avocado, the mastermind. But like I said, he's kind of right. Audiences really are obsessed with personalities, often more than the content itself. And by hiding his weight loss for 2 years, he did expose just how easy it is to manipulate an audience. However, the fact is, his body became the experiment. His health was on the line whether he thought he was in control or not. Because he talks about viewers being the messed up ones for watching, right? But he was also the one cashing in the checks, leaning into the breakdowns, and wasting food, ruining his health, feeding the same machine that he now critiques. So it's not as simple as saying, the joke's on you, because the toll on him was real.
Snatched. Snatched. I'm so freaking excited to get this off of me.
And the damage to his audience's perception of food and health was real too. So yeah, he did expose the absurdity of internet consumption in a way, but he also proved how far someone will go when the algorithm rewards that destruction.
2 steps ahead. I am always 2 steps ahead.
Also, when you overload your stomach, you risk stretching it beyond its normal capacity, which can cause all kinds of issues, nausea, vomiting even, and long-term digestive issues, especially if this becomes your job. Eating too quickly also makes it worse because your body does not have enough time to signal fullness. So by the time you realize, wow, I've had too much, it might be too late.
Challenge starts. I think I'm halfway there. 2,400 calories.
And then there's the sugar. A lot of mukbangs are centered on massive desserts, rainbow cakes, consuming extreme amounts of sugar in one go, which obviously will spike blood glucose, which can cause crashes and over time, insulin resistance. All of this can be a serious strain on the body.
How I eat cereal at 500 pounds.
Syrup. The whole bag of cereal. The times when mukbangers ate too much chocolate. There's a whole separate category of too much chocolate. So there's probably too much of everything. This one is actually shocking to me, at least, because I have had honeycomb. I had like a teaspoon of it with some tea, right? Very nice, very sweet. So a teaspoon's enough. A whole block of honeycomb.
Today I'm gonna be trying raw honeycomb.
So you combine overeating, eating too quickly, and eating sugar-heavy foods, and you have the perfect recipe for both short-term and long-term health issues. Will the views matter then? I don't think so. All of this is happening also in a country like the United States, where obesity is already a major public health crisis here. Some facts in the past few years, right? In 2022, 1 in 8 people in the world were living with obesity. Worldwide, adult obesity has more than doubled since 1990, and the adolescent obesity has quadrupled. In 2022, 2.5 billion adults 18 years and older were overweight. In 2024, 35 million children under the age of 5 were overweight. So especially in that context, watching someone inhale thousands of calories for entertainment does not just feel excessive, it feels reckless, especially in America. It glamorizes exactly the kind of eating habits that fuel one of our country's most serious health issues. Stop! Just get a normal portion. Can we do that? No, we can't apparently. Another creator that's known for this, James Bola.
Eat 20,000 calories with me on my 30-minute break.
Classy! This kills me. Almost always is a diet soda with like 5 pizza boxes.
If you want to see me eat a small snack, let's see what we're eating. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 40 maruchanas. Man.
He's like hyperventilating, trying to count. This is actually very concerning.
Let's mix the tapatio.
That's like a straight up bucket.
Mood, you guys. So we have the 15 packs of noodles ready to eat. I put the extra sauce, I put cheese, and I put this whole thing of sauce.
I thought that was also Pepto. He just like puts Pepto on it as sauce.
Okay, let's get started. I'm so hungry. The Diet Pepsi, you guys. Diet Pepsi.
Raw cookie dough?
I was trying to make it a little bit healthier by just like adding some keto whipped cream.
Keto whip. Okay, so it's rage bait. Okay. A lot of it is, not a surprise. But again, does it really matter? You're still eating it. This guy was also very popular a few years ago for wasting food.
Dry pickles and ice cream. Okay, ice cream. Pickles. Perfect. Icing. Inkler. Chocolate chip. Perfect.
You know, I'm also wondering how you have a bucket of ketchup.
Cereal. Chocolate syrup. Powder. Perfect.
Idiot! This is crazy because I'm sure you may have had parents, right? Or someone in your family who would tell you, kids around the world are starving. Don't leave anything on your plate. Maybe his parents never told him that. But he's changed.
No, just a little bit.
Governments have started to take notice of the kind of damage that these videos can cause in other parts of the world, especially China, where mukbangs are very popular, right? For example, in 2020, many influencers went from being celebrated to being publicly shamed as being wasteful. From the BBC, the Clean Plate campaign was launched after Mr. Xi said that COVID-19 had sounded the alarm on food waste. The news network CCTV made critical reports about mukbangers, drawing attention to those that consumed mountains of food while live streaming. Anyone searching for terms such as eating show or eating live stream is now being served with warning notices. They're warned to save food, eat properly, and on the Chinese sister app to TikTok, a warning pops up saying cherish food, refuse to waste, eat properly, and have a healthy life. Meanwhile, on our TikTok, there are no warnings. Instead, the algorithm continues to push clips of people inhaling mountains of fast food, as if that is completely normal and not a threat to the overall well-being of our society. One of the most disturbing elements of all of this is the audience that these videos tend to attract. Kids are especially drawn in. You see massive cartoonish portions of brightly colored food. Sometimes it's color coordinated. It quietly warps their sense of what normal eating habits look like. For a child watching someone eat a rainbow cake the size of a car, Mom, I don't want to eat my broccoli. I want to eat the new iPhone or screwdriver, just like my favorite YouTuber does. The health implications are obvious because kids are impressionable, and if they see their favorite creator chugging sauce or swallowing tubs of candy, they may try to copy that. Worst of all, some videos do blur the lines between real and fake food, so edible glue, dessert-shaped soap, and crayons. But at a deeper level, this kind of content shapes how children relate to food itself, because eating, again, stops being about hunger or nutrition and instead becomes about volume, shock value, which is dangerous to both kids and adults. I think especially for kids though, who grow up on YouTube and TikTok, mukbangs sit right next to toy unboxings and like restock videos, haul culture. So the message is consistent across all of it. Bigger is better, more is fun, but the waste is invisible. So many, especially children, will assume all of it's eaten or all of it is used, which is usually not the case.
They say I'm AI, so I'm proving I'm not by eating fully glassed fruits.
Yeah, that's how you would convince us. 368,000 likes, by the way. Just when it feels like mukbangs cannot get any more extreme, there are also AI mukbangs.
These literally look like bubbles. That's actually really goo. Never mind.
It's actually really goo.
Why are they kind of spicy?
Appear to eat things no human could ever attempt, right? Lava is a very popular one. Glass, rocks, and people are watching. In fact, some of these clips are gaining traction because the AI has become convincing, at least convincing enough, that many viewers cannot tell what is real and what isn't.
I'm saying I'm AI. Now watch me eat this lava seafood boil.
This week's flavor is pickle lemonade. Let's try it.
My man bought me this seafood platter, but your man don't even want to get you a 4 for $4.
People are fighting with the AI. Okay, but my man is real. Is yours? It's always lava. Oh, lava ramen.
Oh my gosh, look at this. It looks so good.
So for the human creators, the mukbang creators, this raises the bar in a disturbing way. If audiences get used to watching virtual characters devour impossible meals without any consequences, how can a real creator compete? So it shifts from who can eat the most ramen, for example, to who can trick the audience into believing the impossible. And that kind of pressure will only push the genre into an even more dangerous territory, believe it or not, making the content more extreme. This is just a glimpse of where the entire internet is heading, by the way, because whole categories of content are being solely replaced by AI. We have the faceless TikToks, we have AI-generated podcasts or fake street interviews. This is just an example.
The name is Tilly Norwood. She appears to be a fresh-faced young woman who posts about pursuing an acting career.
Let's get to know each other, and thanks for watching.
This actress is completely AI generated by a company called Particle 6.
Tilly Norwood, 100% AI generated. She'll do anything I say. I'm already in love.
Major stars speaking up, saying that the AI was trained using their work without their permission and without compensation.
There were reports that Hollywood talent agents had been looking to sign Tilly Norwood to shop out for acting gigs.
In some of the most extreme cases, creators also resort to eating live seafood on camera. So you'll see octopus tentacles still moving, and the goal is still the same, right? To shock, now to disturb, to get people talking, commenting, eating a live creature on camera. I think that's next level, right? Beyond the obvious ethical issue here, there are health concerns with consuming live seafood along with a bunch of other interesting meals that these creators come up with. That all raises the risk of serious infections and parasites, which some of them treat as part of the thrill. It's marketed as daring, but it normalizes behavior that is both unsafe and inhumane. I love how she's trying to be so cute. She's eating it while it is still alive, moving. And she's like, tee-hee, eat a live octopus with me. Girl, I get it, like your culture, okay? Can you at least cook it? Can you at least kill it first?
We have pig intestines and congealed raw blood pudding.
At least it's cooked. This is actually my go-to. Imagine going to McDonald's. I'll have my usual, the pig intestines and the congealed raw blood pudding. Oh, it's raw. Okay, never mind. At least it's not alive. The bar is low.
The chip cookie dough, sugar cookie dough with strawberry milk.
Overconsumption is already pushed on TikTok, right? We have the soap, the slime content, sprays, lotions, you name it. This is the same thing, just food, and it's still gluttony. No one should be making or watching the egregiously wasteful version of that content with soap, sprays. A normal meal on camera, fine, but the thrill of watching people gorge on obscene quantities of food, that says a lot about our society. Being detached from the meaning of food as sustenance and just rewarding whatever shocks people the most. This was a very popular one. It's this wache bowl. And everyone would say, I woke up severely dehydrated. At 3 a.m. It was always 3 a.m. I remember.
So it's 3 a.m. here in Korea. I woke up severely dehydrated. Called wache.
This one, the milk, it's curdling. Girl, don't eat it! Get the Pepto. You're gonna need it. Also, even if the milk didn't curdle here, who's gonna drink this much in one sitting? Who's gonna eat this much fruit in one sitting? I mean, that's not normal. I'm dehydrated. There's something called water. So we now know there's this parasocial element and the shock value, but there's also the ASMR element, right? That we haven't really talked much about. But yeah, most mukbang creators exaggerate the chewing, the slurping, the mouth noises to trigger that calming effect some people get from certain sounds. Some from eating somehow. For some viewers, these noises make the video feel more immersive, like they are right there at the table, which personally, I do not get the appeal. But either way, ASMR has become a major driver of this genre's popularity, so it does help create that vicarious satisfaction, right? You feel full just from watching someone else shovel in ramen or bite into fried chicken, whatever. Chipotle, deep fried in Cheetos. Anything else? How about you just get a stick of butter? How about you get 5 sticks of butter, you add it to the blender, and then you can add a whole pizza pie into that, and then 10 burgers, and you chew really loudly, and people love it. somehow. All this in the car as well. See, but it will have to get more extreme. The car is part of it. It'll get more views. She knows that because people will be like, what? In the car? But that could be messy. We see bigger, that's better. We see messier, that's cooler. But it will have to get more and more extreme. Next, they'll try doing this on a plane while parachuting off of one. But I do think it will end with AI. I think everything's gonna end with AI. It's only a matter of time before we're all doomed. But yeah, for now, they're competing for attention. I don't mind that. It's a single bug. Okay, one bug. Good for you. I wish you all the best in your mukbang success. Even here, right, the crunching, you can see how the sound design is central to all of this. And that exaggerates the sensory experience for some. So this intensity is exactly what makes the content spread so quickly because it keeps people who enjoy those sounds watching. At the same time, though, it is incredibly polarizing because people with misophonia, for example, those same noises are unbearable and can actually trigger stress or even anger. So what relaxes one viewer can genuinely disturb another.
Hey yo, I'm about to eat 20 pounds of hot dog with 1 Pepsi. Hum hum, let's get it, baby. Ugh.
Personally, I don't really get the appeal. I'm not someone who wants to sit through chewing. Watching someone make their iced latte, for example, or order different types of coffee drinks, review them, that actually does make me happy because coffee makes me happy. And these videos even make me crave coffee sometimes, so I do kind of get it. But that's where it stops for me, at least. I don't want to hear you drink the coffee. I don't want to hear about your day. I do not pretend that we are friends having coffee together. I just want to hear your review for the newest Starbucks drink. That's it.
We got sausage, bell peppers, eggs, celery, strawberries, and broccoli.
Okay, fine. If you had a little bit of each, that would end up fitting on one plate and that could be a snack for you, right? Dare I say a meal? But that's a lot of food. Again, in the car.
Baby, say what? Say,
You know what my grandma would say? Nie chawkaj. Because this... But even when people flood the comments to complain about how disgusting the slurping and chewing sounds are, they are still boosting that video's engagement, right? The algorithm does not care whether you are watching because you are soothed by the sounds somehow, or because you are horrified. So in that sense, mukbangs, they do thrive on both the fascination and disgust. And then there is that issue of waste, because some mukbangers spit food into buckets off camera to fake the appearance of finishing it all. Others that drench meals in gallons of sauce or spill food deliberately do it because they know the more outrageous, the better the numbers. So when it comes to portion sizes, a lot of what you see is not even real. Tons of these creators edit around swallowing. So then you pair that illusion with the fact that many of them stay slim. All of that quietly reinforces the idea that you can eat limitless amounts of food without consequence, which isn't true. For the viewers though, especially younger ones, that creates a dangerous lie about how bodies work. No, you cannot eat this much food and not gain weight, or at least develop a stomach issue. Just know the person downstairs is thinking, it's an earthquake! What is that? Also, some people, they'll feel relieved. At least I don't eat that much. At least I'm not that fat. But for others, it actually normalizes overeating by making them feel less alone in their own unhealthy eating habits. Look, I only have 4 burgers a day. They have 10. It's not that bad. It's not that serious. I'm not alone. Either way though, it highlights a larger issue, which is that audiences are more connected online, or at least it feels that way, than ever before, but they are increasingly starved for genuine connection. And many turn to these mukbangs as a substitute. I mean, that's what it originally felt like for a lot of people, that they were sharing a meal when they weren't really. It doesn't have to be an issue, but it can be a problem if that becomes a substitute for actual connection offline. For some, it's just entertainment, or just a way to pass the time.
Wendy's as a midnight snack.
Honestly, I need more sauce.
I was pretty hungry before I started filming. I don't want to eat at all now. Very interesting, right? I'm not saying if you enjoy these videos, you're wrong, you know, you're evil. No, I'm just perplexed by it. Right? That someone could watch this and want to eat that, right? Become hungry. I want to never look at food again.
I think I'm out of sauce. Look what I found.
But what do people find so entertaining about watching others eat so much food? As we've discussed, part of it is shock value. Part of it is the sensory thrill of the sounds, the amount of food, right? Seeing that. And part of it is the illusion of companionship because it offers them a substitute for something they might be missing in their own lives. Whether that is comfort, community, or even the chaos, the excitement of these extreme mukbangs. And how did it become such a profitable industry? Well, because few things grab attention like excess online overconsumption. And as for what we do about all this, we ban it. We ban it all. We shut down every fast food place. And we put all you fatties in prison. No, really, what it comes down to is what audiences choose to support. A normal meal on camera is not the problem. The problem is when these creators start wasting food, lying to their audiences, sacrificing their health. If people reward balance though, balance will eventually sell. I doubt it. But the choice may look like it belongs to the creators, but it actually belongs to the viewers. And that's all for today's video, guys. You let me know what you think about mukbangs in the comments below. Also remember to like, share, subscribe, hit the notification bell so you can see more videos like this. Check out my other socials and my merch. That's all linked below. And I'll see you in the next one. Bye.